There's a quiet warning signal that many older adults never hear until it's too late. It doesn't show up as a sharp pain or a loud alarm. Instead, it hides in something as ordinary as your urine. This hidden signal is called proteinuria, and it means your body is losing valuable protein every time you go to the bathroom. For some, it begins subtly, a little swelling in the ankles, a hint of fatigue that feels like just getting older. But behind the scenes, the kidneys, those hard-working filters, are crying for help. I'm Dr. Brian, and welcome to Channel Vital Science for Seniors. Today I want to walk with you through a hopeful path because the story doesn't end with decline. Nature has always kept healing secrets in her garden, and 5 simple herbal drinks may help protect your kidneys, ease proteinuria, and bring back strength you thought was gone. Imagine your kidneys as 2 diligent housekeepers, sorting through every drop of blood to keep what's valuable and discard the waste. Normally, protein stays safely in your blood, where it builds muscle, repairs tissue, and fuels your immune system. But when proteinuria appears, it's like those housekeepers are letting groceries slip through the trash chute. Sometimes the leak is temporary, from dehydration, stress, or even a tough workout. Other times, it's a red flag for diabetes, high blood pressure, or chronic kidney disease. Left unchecked, proteinuria steals away energy, invites swelling, and slowly damages the kidneys. But here's the encouraging truth. The way you live each day, what you eat, how you hydrate, and the natural remedies you choose can tip the balance. And among the simplest, most accessible tools are herbal detox drinks, gentle allies that work with your body to lighten the load on your kidneys. When I think of the healing power of herbs, I often remember one of my patients, Mrs. Alvarez, a retired teacher in her early 70s. She came to me tired, her ankles puffy by late afternoon, her lab tests showing early protein leakage. She felt discouraged, worried that life was closing in. Together, we looked at small steps she could take. One of them was so simple it surprised her. A drink made with coriander and parsley, herbs she already kept in her kitchen. These 2 green companions do more than seasoned soup. Parsley, with its crisp, fresh aroma, works like a gentle broom for the kidneys, helping them flush excess sodium and water. Coriander, with its subtle citrusy note, calms inflammation and steadies blood sugar, a vital protection because high sugar is a hidden villain behind kidney damage. Both herbs are rich in antioxidants, like tiny shields protecting kidney cells from oxidative stress, the same kind of rust that can corrode an old car if left unchecked. Science supports what traditional healers have known. A study in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology found that coriander extracts improved antioxidant status and lowered blood sugar in animals. A reminder that what grows in the garden can touch the most delicate systems of the body. For older adults, that means less strain on kidneys, better fluid balance, and a subtle lift in energy. Preparing this drink is like brewing a gentle tonic. Wash a handful of fresh parsley and coriander. Place them in a pot with 4 cups of water and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. As the leaves release their essence, the water transforms into a pale green infusion. Once cooled and strained, it can rest in the refrigerator, ready to be sipped 1 cup at a time, a few days each week. Mrs. Alvarez began with 3 cups spread over the week, and she told me she felt lighter, not just in her body but in her spirit. There is, however, a word of caution. Parsley is high in oxalates, natural compounds that in some people may encourage kidney stones. If you've ever had stones, or your doctor has warned you about them, moderation is key. This is not about guzzling gallons, but about honoring balance. Taking nature's gifts as gentle companions, not as extremes. For many seniors, that moderation is the difference between feeling supported and feeling burdened. So coriander and parsley water is more than a home remedy. It is a symbol of how the smallest choices, herbs simmered in water, can help protect kidney function, reduce protein loss, and restore confidence. When most people see a dandelion, they think of a weed. Children blow its fluffy seeds into the air, but adults usually reach for the lawnmower. Yet hidden in that stubborn root is a treasure for the kidneys. I remember Mr. Harris, a retired bus driver who spent decades waking before dawn. By the time he reached 68, his doctor told him his creatinine levels were rising, a sign his kidneys were under stress. He sighed, telling me he felt as if his body was wearing out like an old engine. We talked about options, and one of the simplest was adding dandelion root tea to his daily routine. Dandelion root acts as a natural diuretic, which means it helps the body release excess water and sodium. Picture a sponge soaked with too much liquid. Squeezing it out makes the sponge lighter and more effective. For kidneys, that means less pressure and more efficient filtering. Alongside this, dandelion root carries antioxidants like flavonoids and polyphenols, which work like rust-preventing oil, protecting the delicate kidney tissues from oxidative stress. When oxidative stress is unchecked, it chips away at kidney cells, worsening proteinuria. Research has begun to confirm what traditional healers practice for centuries. A study published in the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine showed that dandelion increases urine output, supporting the idea that it helps the kidneys clear waste. For seniors facing swelling in their legs or rising creatinine, that gentle flushing can feel like relief from carrying a heavy burden. Mr. Harris began sipping one warm cup of dandelion tea each morning. Within weeks, he noticed not only less puffiness in his ankles, but also a lighter mood, as though the ritual itself gave him a sense of taking charge. Making the tea is simple. A teaspoon or two of dried dandelion roots simmered in a cup of water for 10 to 15 minutes. The result is an earthy, slightly bitter tea that can be softened with a squeeze of lemon. 2 cups a day, one in the morning and one in the afternoon, are often enough. But there are cautions here too. Because it stimulates urination, hydration is essential. Water alongside tea ensures the body doesn't become too dry. And if you take medicines for blood pressure, diabetes, or already use prescription diuretics, speak to your doctor first to avoid unexpected interactions. The beauty of dandelion root tea lies not just in its chemistry, but in its symbolism. What many see as an unwanted weed can become a healing ally. Mr. Harris told me, "I used to fight them in my yard, and now I'm drinking them for my health." Sometimes what we overlook holds exactly what we need to protect the kidneys and ease proteinuria. There is a warmth in ginger that feels like comfort itself. Its golden root has been used for thousands of years across Asia, not just to flavor food, but to soothe the body. For seniors living with proteinuria, ginger can be more than a spice. It can be a gentle protector of the kidneys. I think of Ms. Patel, a soft-spoken woman in her late 60s who came to see me after months of feeling bloated and achy. Her lab results showed high creatinine, and she worried that every ache was another step toward dialysis. What gave her strength was finding daily rituals that reminded her she still had influence over her health. One of those was a cup of ginger tea. Ginger works in several remarkable ways. First, it is a natural anti-inflammatory. When kidneys are inflamed, they act like filters clogged with mud, letting vital proteins slip away. Ginger calms this swelling, allowing the filters to function more smoothly. Second, it is rich in antioxidants, such as gingerol, which protect kidney cells the way a clear varnish protects an old piece of wood from weathering. Over time, these antioxidants reduce the damage caused by free radicals, harmful molecules that accelerate kidney decline. Another gift of ginger is its ability to support circulation and digestion. Better blood flow means the kidneys receive oxygen and nutrients more efficiently, like fresh water flowing through a river rather than a stagnant pond. And when digestion improves, waste products are eliminated more smoothly, reducing the strain on kidneys already working hard. Ms. Patel told me that after a few weeks of sipping ginger tea, her ankles no longer felt like sandbags at the end of the day, and her energy returned enough for her to garden again, a joy she thought she had lost. Making ginger tea is straightforward. Slice an inch of fresh ginger root, drop it into a cup of hot water, and let it steep for 10 minutes. The aroma is both spicy and comforting. For those who prefer stronger flavor, a bit more ginger can be added, or a dash of lemon to brighten it. Some enjoy a teaspoon of honey, but I encourage moderation, especially for anyone managing diabetes, since high blood sugar can worsen kidney disease. Drinking 1 to 2 cups daily is usually safe and beneficial. Of course, balance matters. Too much ginger can irritate the stomach, just as even a healthy food can cause discomfort if taken in excess. It's not about flooding the body, but about steady nourishment. For Ms. Patel, ginger tea became more than a beverage. It became a reminder that her kidneys were not her enemy, but part of a body still capable of healing and joy. She once said, Every sip feels like I'm telling my body I haven't given up on it. And that is the deeper lesson. Ginger tea is a small, accessible step, yet it can bring comfort, reduce inflammation, and protect kidney function in ways that science and tradition agree upon. Turmeric glows like sunlight in powdered form, but its true strength lies in a compound called curcumin. For centuries, healers in India have used turmeric as both medicine and spice, not just for its color, but for its power to calm inflammation deep within the body. For older adults with proteinuria, turmeric tea can be like giving the kidneys a shield against constant attack. I recall Mrs. Thompson, a 71-year-old grandmother who loved to knit. Her problem was swelling in her legs and a nagging fatigue. Her doctor told her she had early kidney disease, and she came to me with fear in her eyes, whispering, "Will I lose my independence?" We built a plan together, and part of that plan was a golden cup of turmeric tea each day. The magic of turmeric lies in its ability to fight both inflammation and oxidative stress. Imagine your kidneys as delicate sieves. Over time, inflammation clogs the holes, and oxidative stress corrodes the mesh, allowing proteins to leak into the urine. Curcumin works like a careful repairman, easing swelling and slowing corrosion so the sieve can function again. Research backs this up. A study in the Journal of Renal Nutrition showed that curcumin supplementation improved markers of inflammation in patients with chronic kidney disease, suggesting that its benefits go beyond folklore and into real clinical impact. For Mrs. Thompson, sipping her turmeric tea became more than treatment. It became ritual. She described it as sunshine in a cup, a warmth that soothed not just her body, but her spirit. Within a few months, her swelling eased, and while her labs still showed kidney disease, the progression had slowed. Most importantly, she felt empowered, no longer a passive patient, but an active partner in her health. Preparing turmeric tea can be done with fresh root or powder. If you use fresh turmeric, slice about an inch and let it steep in hot water for 10 to 15 minutes, releasing its earthy, peppery flavor. Powder works too, about a teaspoon stirred into hot water until golden and fragrant. Here's a vital tip. Add a pinch of black pepper. Piperine, the compound in pepper, boosts the absorption of curcumin dramatically, making the tea far more effective. Some people like to add lemon or a touch of honey, but again, moderation is key. Turmeric, though powerful, is not free from caution. In high doses, it can cause stomach upset. And for those on blood-thinning medications, it may interact in ways that need careful monitoring. That's why I always advise talking with your physician before making it a daily staple. Yet for most, 1 or 2 cups of turmeric tea a day can become a safe, supportive ally. Mrs. Thompson still calls me sometimes to tell me about her knitting projects, and she always ends with, "Don't worry, doctor, I've had my sunshine today." That to me is the heart of healing. Small, consistent choices that protect the kidneys, calm proteinuria, and keep joy alive. Sometimes the simplest ingredients, sitting quietly in the kitchen, hold the most refreshing medicine. Lemons and basil may seem ordinary, but together they can create an infusion that supports the kidneys in remarkable ways. I once met Mr. Delgado, a retired carpenter in his 70s, who loved telling stories as much as he loved working with his hands. But when swelling in his legs and fatigue set in, he worried that his kidney troubles would steal away his independence. He told me, "Doctor, I don't want to be a burden." We explored safe, natural steps he could take alongside his medical care, and one of those steps was a daily glass of lemon and basil water. Lemon brings brightness not just to food, but to the body. Its vitamin C strengthens the immune system, while its citric acid helps prevent kidney stones by binding calcium before it can form crystals. Think of it as an internal cleaner, scrubbing away the grit that might otherwise settle in the kidneys. Basil, meanwhile, offers a different kind of gift. It carries anti-inflammatory and antioxidant compounds that calm the low-level fire inside damaged kidneys. Basil also has mild antibacterial properties, helping protect against infections that can complicate kidney disease. When joined together, lemon and basil act like a duet, one flushing toxins, the other soothing inflammation. Hydration is the key to this infusion. Many older adults unknowingly sip too little water each day, leaving their kidneys to work like overburdened dishwashers with hardly any rinse cycle. By infusing water with lemon slices and fresh basil leaves, You transform ordinary hydration into something flavorful and healing. Mr. Delgado told me he looked forward to his glass each morning, chilled from the refrigerator, the basil gently muddled to release its oils. He said, "It doesn't feel like medicine. It feels like living well." That shift in perspective is powerful. Preparing the infusion is simple. Add a few slices of lemon and a handful of fresh basil leaves to a pitcher of water. Muddle the basil gently, then let it rest for a couple of hours, allowing the flavors and nutrients to merge. Sipping 1 or 2 glasses daily is enough to support hydration and kidney health without overwhelming the system. But here's an important note. While both lemon and basil are generally safe, they do carry potassium. For those with advanced kidney disease on restricted potassium diets, it's wise to monitor intake carefully and consult with a physician before making it a daily habit. For most, though, this infusion is both safe and delightful. It doesn't just hydrate the body, it lifts the spirit. Mr. Delgado eventually told me that his infusion became part of a ritual. He would sit outside on his porch, sip his lemon basil water, and watch the sunrise. His kidneys still needed medical attention, of course, but he felt empowered again, in control of at least part of his health journey. That is the gift of this simple drink. It is not about chasing a cure, but about creating moments of care, about protecting kidney function, easing proteinuria, and reminding ourselves that even small, beautiful rituals can restore dignity and hope. When I look back at the journeys of people like Mrs. Alvarez, Mr. Harris, Ms. Patel, Mrs. Thompson, and Mr. Delgado, I see a thread running through all their stories. Each one feared their kidneys were slipping away, and each one found comfort in something as humble as an herbal drink. No, coriander water or ginger tea is not a miracle cure, but they are daily choices that protect kidney health, slow protein loss, and restore a sense of control. That sense of empowerment is priceless, especially after 50, when the fear of decline can loom large. My message to you is simple. You are not powerless. With moderation, medical guidance, and a little help from nature's pharmacy, you can support your kidneys, ease proteinuria, and reclaim both strength and joy. I'm Dr. Brian, and I believe change is possible at any age. Stay hopeful, stay curious, and stay kind to yourself.